What if the most sophisticated quantum computer exists inside your cells? Scientists have discovered that DNA may operate using quantum mechanics, the strange physics where particles exist in multiple states simultaneously, essentially making your cells function like miniature supercomputers hiding in plain sight. In 1944, physicist Erwin Schrodinger asked in his book, "What is life?" How could the laws of physics explain living organisms? Today, quantum biology suggests an answer that challenges our fundamental understanding of evolution. Could the mathematical complexity of our genetic code point to something beyond mere chance? The answer might redefine our very understanding of life itself. Schrodinger's revolutionary question. In 1944, while World War II raged across Europe, a renowned physicist was asking a question that would eventually transform our understanding of life itself. Erwin Schrodinger, who had already revolutionized physics with his wave equation, turned his attention to biology. His lectures at Trinity College Dublin, later published as the book What is Life?, posed a question that seemed simple but carried profound implications. How could the physical laws that govern atoms explain the behavior of living organisms? Schrodinger recognized a fundamental problem. Classical physics, the physics of Newton that explained the motion of planets and objects we can see, failed to explain how genetic information could remain stable across generations. At a time when genes were still a somewhat abstract concept and the structure of DNA remained unknown, Schrodinger made a remarkable intuitive leap. Approaching biology through the lens of quantum mechanics, the strange new physics he had helped create, Schrodinger proposed that genetic material must be structured as an aperiodic crystal, a stable molecular structure containing vast information in its irregular arrangement. This prediction came 9 years before Watson and Crick discovered DNA's double helix structure. Like a bridge spanning two distant shores, Schrodinger connected the mathematical world of physics with the organic complexity of biology, creating a pathway future scientists would follow. In the 1940s, biology and physics existed as separate disciplines with little crossover. Biologists studied whole organisms using microscopes and dissection, while physicists worked with equations and particle accelerators. The application of quantum physics to living cells seemed far-fetched to scientists in both fields. Schrodinger was creating a new scientific territory. He wrote that understanding life would require new physics, not because existing physics was wrong, but because biology presented challenges that would expand our understanding of physical laws. This interdisciplinary approach predated by decades the merging of fields we now take for granted. The reception to his ideas mixed skepticism with fascination. Many biologists dismissed his theories as speculative overreach from a physicist unfamiliar with living systems. Some physicists worried that applying quantum mechanics to biology would undermine the mathematical rigor of their field. Yet others were intrigued by the questions he raised. What made Schrodinger's work so prescient was his specific predictions about the molecular basis of heredity. He correctly reasoned that genetic information must be encoded in a molecule stable enough to preserve information over generations, yet variable enough to allow for the diversity of life. He estimated how much information such a molecule would need to contain and speculated about its structural properties. When Watson and Crick discovered DNA structure in 1953, the molecule matched Schrodinger's conceptual description with remarkable accuracy. DNA is indeed an aperiodic crystal with a variable sequence of bases encoding genetic information. The double helix contains billions of chemical letters forming the genetic instructions for building and operating living organisms. Schrodinger had been right about information storage too. He recognized that life requires a physical system capable of containing enormous amounts of information in a stable form. DNA's four-letter alphabet provides this capability, with a single human cell containing about 700 megabytes of genetic information. Despite these insights, technological limitations prevented scientists from testing whether quantum effects actually operate in biological structures. The instruments needed to detect quantum phenomena in complex molecules simply didn't exist. Experimental verification of his hypothesis would wait decades. Through the following decades, molecular biology advanced rapidly with discoveries about DNA transcription, RNA, and protein synthesis. This central dogma seemed to explain life's fundamental processes without needing to invoke quantum mechanics beyond its basic role in chemical bonds. Schrodinger's more radical suggestions about quantum effects in biology faded into the background. The technological barriers were significant. Quantum effects occur at extremely small scales and last for incredibly brief periods, often less than a billionth of a second. Detection requires specialized equipment that wasn't developed until the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Schrodinger made these predictions without modern computational tools. Today, scientists use supercomputers to model quantum interactions in biological systems. He worked with pen, paper, and mathematical intuition developed through his fundamental physics work. His insights extended beyond genetic material structure. Schrodinger questioned how enzymes could catalyze chemical reactions with such precision and efficiency, suggesting quantum mechanics might explain these biological catalysts, another prediction modern research is now confirming. It took nearly 60 years for technology to advance enough to begin testing Schrodinger's hypotheses about quantum biology. With ultra-fast lasers, sensitive spectroscopy, and quantum sensors, researchers began detecting phenomena like quantum coherence, tunneling, and entanglement in living organisms. Evidence now confirms Schrodinger's suspicion: DNA functions as a quantum system in specific ways. The electron arrangement in DNA bases creates conditions where quantum effects influence mutations, DNA repair, and possibly information storage. The hydrogen bonds holding DNA's double helix together exhibit quantum properties affecting the genetic code stability. Schrodinger's question, what is life? Opened a door scientists continue to explore. His suggestion that quantum mechanics plays a fundamental role in biology launched what became quantum biology, examining how quantum effects influence processes from photosynthesis to bird navigation, enzyme function, and possibly consciousness itself. These discoveries are transforming our understanding of biology at its most fundamental level. The quantum nature of life that Schrodinger proposed is moving from theoretical speculation to experimental reality, opening new frontiers in both biology and physics. This convergence raises profound questions about life's nature and origin, revealing that plants and other organisms have been harnessing quantum effects all along.